Hi there, my name is Tracy, and this is the 3-Wick Thesis candle channel. I wanted to post my update for you on the 5 new fragrances from Goose Creek that I did a cold impression on yesterday. I'm calling this series Lit Review. That is to play on my academic background. And these episodes are going to be focused just on first burn impression of new fragrance candles or new fragrance hauls. So a little bit different from the Lighting the Way series, which is a full review from cold to warm to multiple burns. This series is just going to be first burn impressions for new candles, and some of these will end up being in the Lighting the Way series, but those will come later when I've had more time to sit with the candles and get to know them a little bit more. So for this episode, we're going to be doing the 5 candles that I reviewed yesterday. I'll go ahead and put the original cold impression and unboxing link in the description below in case you want to watch that first. And that is the Peach Sugar Waffle, Blushing Lilac, Buttercream Blooms, Easter Blooms, and the Blueberry Crumble. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my burn impression of the Peach Sugar Wafers. Now on cold, you might recall, I said I thought this smelled like Main Street Bakery from Bath & Body Works. When it's warm, it does evolve a little bit. That peach livens up and comes through much more than what it does on cold. I still think it smells like Main Street Bakery. There's a pudding vanilla wafer vibe to this that reminds me of the pudding and vanilla wafer vibe that's in Main Street Bakery. The difference is that Main Street Bakery has a very strong banana scent and this has a pretty strong peach scent. And it does smell a little bit more fresh baked peach when it's warm. And then when it's cold, it smells a little bit like peach ring. So it does warm up. You get this kind of like gooey, warm fragrance. I think if you like peach candles, like peach pie or peach baked good, and if you like the vanilla kind of pudding wafer notes from Main Street Bakery, you would like this one. And I didn't see any signs of like burning issues the first burn. Of course, it's really hard to tell with the first burn. And I did notice that the throw on this one was pretty low. However, I'm going to reserve judgment on throw until I've burned it more because sometimes candles don't come to life until their second burn. In terms of the Blushing Lilac, this one really changed, and for me, it changed for the worse. On cold, you get the lilac and you get the hint of vanilla, and it just feels kind of warm and floral. When this heated up, I put in my notes that it smells like deodorant and powder carpet cleaner. So the vibe that I get from this candle on warm, I don't know if you've ever used this. My mom used to use it as a kid. It was like a powdered deodorant, like carpet cleaner, and you would like sprinkle it on the carpet and then you'd run your vacuum and your whole house would end up smelling like that powder deodorant. This reminds me of that. There's something dusty and powdery and floral at the same time that for me, it's just not my preference. I tend to not lean towards deodorant scent or powder scent fragrances, especially when they're floral. This happens a lot with rose fragrances, for example. This one is definitely a powdery deodorant / carpet cleaning scent for me. So if you like that powdery aspect, I would say go ahead and snag this. For me, I was craving more fresh floral and or a little bit more of a gourmand note with that vanilla sweetness. So this one will not be a repurchase for me. I am going to burn it because I bought it and I'll honor it for what it is, but I will not be rebuying this one. It's just not for my liking. Didn't see any burn issues with that one either, and the throw was actually pretty good. For Buttercream Blooms, this one really got interesting, y'all. Now, on cold, I could barely smell this candle. I actually had to grab the lid to try to get a scent of this when it was cold. When it warmed up, you definitely get much more of that buttercream. You get the sense of that gourmand fragrance, but I will say it's still not really overpowering. If you're looking for like just a super buttercream, strong, sweet candle, this is not it, but you do get a little bit of that buttercream that makes it feel more like an edible dessert. The floral also really comes through more when warm, and what I pick up on is rose water. It's a very subtle rose, and it almost makes this smell like a rose buttercream. It's really pretty. The rose is very subtle. It's not strong at all. So if you're not a fan of rose, but you like buttercream, this might be a good entry into rose. I wouldn't go this route if, for example, you love rose and you really want a lot of it, because it is just kind of in the background and feels a little bit like some of the Persian desserts I've had in the area where I live, where you've just got that rose water note that comes through, but really it's the gourmand buttercream that is stronger. So this one's really pretty. I like it a lot. I don't know, I would repurchase it if I have the storage space. So I really like it. I think it's repurchase worthy. I just don't know that I'll buy another one because I already have so many vanilla, marshmallow, buttercream fragrances in my collection. So I do recommend this one. Didn't see any issues with burn on that one either. The Easter Blooms one, this one also evolved a little bit. When it got warm, I feel like it really became a green floral candle. So instead of the flowers first and the green in the background, which is kind of what I felt on cold, I feel like when it's warmed, you really get the garden greenery note in this first and foremost, with some floral mixed in. I still can't fully identify the spring blooms that are in this. I get a sense of daffodil, and on warm, I actually got a sense of peony, but honestly, it's so ambiguous that I can't pinpoint exactly which florals are supposed to be in here. So I would say if you're a fan of spring florals generally, this is okay. If you do not like spring florals, then this might be a bit of a risk. The green note is really pretty. It's very fresh. It smells a lot like other green candles that I'm burning right now. It smells a lot like the greenery in the Perfect Rose from Goose Creek. So really fresh, really spring and gardeny, but more green forward than floral, which was a little bit of a shift from burning cold. Now, I don't have the blueberry crumble in front of me because it's still cooling. I burned it once last night, had some issues with the burn that I'm going to talk about, then thought, well, maybe it was just a first burn fluke. So I did burn it again today, and I can tell you that the problem is persisting, and that is that this candle burns really, really hot. And I'm also discovering that 2 of my wicks are extremely off center and burning really close to the glass. So I'm going to be keeping a really close eye on this candle. I'm not going to walk away from it or have it leave my side at all, because I'm afraid that the glass could get too hot and possibly shatter. I might end up making this a lamp only candle, which in general I do not like doing. I feel like it's a waste of my candle because I really enjoy watching them burn. But I'm keeping an eye on it, something to be aware of, that this could be a batch issue. It also could just be a one-off. Hard to tell because I didn't buy more than one. So in terms of the scent on the blueberry crumble, I think it is definitely appropriately labeled. This smells like blueberry dessert. You get this like jammy baked blueberry note with the crumble, which is just a really nice balance of what feels like oat with warm cinnamon. It's not like a spicy cinnamon. It's very much like a baked good warm cinnamon. And you also get a sort of richness to that crumble note that reminds me a lot of like a buttery note. I would say that this is on par with Bath & Body Works Mixed Berry Crumble, although I do like this one better. I also feel like it smells a little bit like the Pop-Tart candle from Goose Creek, although I like this one better. For me, it's really just the issues I'm having with the burn quality is concerning, so I probably would not repurchase this one. Also, I really wanted more blueberry, and I feel like the blueberry comes through, but it's very much a crumble dessert gourmand candle. So hopefully those warm impressions and my lit review have given you better insights into what these are when they're warm and what you can expect if you end up lighting them. If you have any questions for me, either about the burn quality or the video that I've shared with you today or the scent notes and how they've evolved, feel free to put those in the chat below. I would love to answer them for you. And as always, thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. And if you aren't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can see more of my videos in the future. Thanks so much, y'all, and have a good night. Bye-bye.